to me. You got an extra one? Good. I thought I would have had an extra one. Give that to me. Thank you. All right. All right, so when you're setting it up, you want to go into Browse Gizmos, and you can pick gizmos by academic standards, you can pick by grade and topic, you can pick by textbook. I normally go in by standards, sometimes I do grade and topic. So if you notice, you have Common Core standards. So Common Core standards for any state that you're interested in, and I go into the state of Georgia. And so depending on the class, I'm high school, so I go into high school. So then what happens is they give you all of the Common Core state standards for high school. So you as a teacher go in and you look at what you are teaching in your class and which standards support what you're teaching in your class. So for example, if I'm teaching polynomials and rational expressions, depending on what I want to do, my last class did polynomials and linear factors. So this is a gizmo for that.
Okay.
And so I can go in here, they have a student exploration guide. Right? So some of them have the actual answers, and I rarely print those out for the students, but they also have a teacher guide, which will help the teacher if the teacher wants additional assistance into how they would like to present the lesson.
Okay.
So polynomials, it tells you what learning objectives this particular gizmo has set up. It talks about the different vocabulary students will learn throughout the gizmo. Gives you an introduction of the lesson overview. It even suggests lesson sequences, right? And then various activities. And tells you step by step, if you're very new, step by step what you can do, assign students to computers. I don't usually use this,
Okay.
and I really never have, because I like to allow students to explore. But I do use the lesson, the student exploration sheet, because I like the way it guides students through the lesson.
Okay.
So the student exploration sheet is PDF or Word, so if you pick it up in PDF, this is actually the answer key, which I don't give them.
Right.
But, you know, this is what you want them to glean from it. You want them to get these answers through the exploration, and it's mostly clicking and dragging for them.
Okay.
Clicking and dragging and reading, comprehending what's being asked, and answering the question. So,
Do you think that it actually has an impact on how your students are doing with
I
your
do.
content?
I
Yeah.
do, because I've had a lot of students, because what I noticed, for example, when we're talking about things in class, so we may be talking about zeros or where the graph hits the x-axis. They can tell you that, but then they'll get on here and they'll see a picture and it'll say, well, where's the zero? And then they'll say, well, Ms. Jones, what does that mean? I'm saying, well, what do we say? And then I'll say, well, what is a zero?
Right.
And they'll say, it's where the graph crosses the x-intercept.
Right.
Where the graph crosses the x-axis. I'll say, okay, well, where does that happen? Then they'll go back and they'll look and they'll say, oh.
Okay.
So it kind of connects what they verbally hear and what they see in class to actual on the computer.
Right.
So they have to actually connect, they have to put it together. So
Okay.
I like that for them.
Okay.
So yeah, it does. So these are all the different standards
Okay.
that students are using, and these are the math standards. So these are all Common Core standards. So you have a lot of options to choose from depending on what you want to teach and where you're at in your content. So these are all the high school math standards. There's quite a few. And then it also uses it for science, and of course I don't play around with science too much because I'm math, but the standards are here also for science.
And so science can access it the same way. They can go by standard.
So
Okay.
here are your performance standards for science.
Okay.
So they can click on any of those standards if they have chemistry or physics, and then it gives you the different standards that that's related to specific gizmos. So if they want to go into science and physics, they've got one for golf range. That sounds kind of interesting.
Right.
So it's kind of a cool way to teach kids and let them come around around, play around with things,
Okay.
and click and drag. And then connect the science to some real world learning experiences. I've never played with this, but it looks kind of cool.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Thank you, Ms. Jones.
All right, you are welcome.